Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy New Year 2019. Good evening, everyone. I am just so blessed to be with you this evening. I did promise you that I was going to do a live stream this evening, and I kept my promise. I would have had one up earlier today, but there was a lot excitement today. Um, I should put more lighting on, but there isn't any where I'm sitting right now, so I guess I'll just okay, there we go. I just had to turn around a little bit. There we go. Now there's some light. Now you guys can all see me. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about today. It was actually good. Even though that I didn't want to do it, it actually felt good to be with, with the with family members and friends and all of that good stuff. And it really felt good because I was with family all day long for New Year's Day, and that was a true blessing right there. I don't think it would have been all that fun really if I was at home and not doing anything like productive or something fun. But I'm actually a person that likes to be isolated. I don't like to be around crowded areas with a bunch of people. So it was actually kind of jumpy today. I mean, I did everything that I could. I was just looking to see what was going on TV. But anyway, I'm here. I was just seeing what commercial was on. But anyway, like I was saying, normally for New Year's Day, I don't really go anywhere at all. And this is my first time being out for New Year's and being with friends and family and having food and all that good stuff, socialization. Um, that's the best time that I could ever have. I'm I'm very, very shy on the sidelines. It means that I don't open up as quickly as other people. If it's somebody that I don't know, um, I will probably walk around and stuff like that. And that's just giving you a sign that I'm trying to figure out, have I ever seen you before? Do I know you? If not, I'll just keep on browsing around, and if there are people that I know, then I'll start having a conversation, um, and stuff. So, like I said, I don't do really well, you know, doing like family get-togethers, that type of thing. Everything was okay. Um, it wasn't a big crowd, but to me, it felt like it felt like it was a big crowded house with a bunch of people in it. So I really felt a lot of anxiety and a lot of excitement happening at that time. So I wasn't so pretty much for the most part, I was in sensory overload the entire time I was at the family gathering today. I did what I could to block everything out, but I was having a hard time with that. So, if there was like a family gathering, such as you know, going to church or something like that, I'm maybe a little isolated because I'm not used to being in larger groups of people or larger sizes. We'll put it that way. I get really nervous and my anxiety is also a problem, and I'm in sensory overload and stuff like that. So it does get kind of overwhelming for me, and I don't like that. I do the best to my ability to block it out, but all at the same time, it's hard to do that when several people are talking, babies are screaming, and all that kind of stuff. It's just when that stuff happens, I get all excited and everything, and it's like I have, I either or sit next to somebody, just to calm myself down. But I made it through the day. Um, didn't really have a problem with it. It's just that I get too agitated, so I'm not exactly sure if I fit in, number one. And number two, it's actually a warning, meaning that going to family gatherings, parties, especially for New Year's Day, since that this is something new that I've never done before. Um, I'm exactly unsure of what's going on. There are people that I know, but then, you have people coming up saying, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" and all this other stuff. The usual stuff that people say as a really nice, positive greeting type of thing. When they first get there and you introduce yourself, like, "Hi, how are you? How you doing? How was your holiday?" That way. How was your Christmas? How was your New Year's, Christmas Eve? And then they go, It's really good to see you. How have you been?" And then you sit down having a conversation with them. And I'm really up for conversation. So if if people want to know about me, I don't have a problem opening up. It just takes me maybe like 45 minutes or maybe a couple of minutes. It all depends on how fast I open up. I will, however, um, if I'm really, give me a second. I'm trying to think. With all the excitement, it's hard for me to speak, and what I want to say is not coming out correctly. So what I was just saying is that the first thing that I'll do is zone around different spots, and I will continue to do that because I'm in my uncomfortable zone. And what I mean by that is where there's a bunch of people um in a house, or let's say you're going to a church or to a birthday party or a restaurant, that type of thing. So there was actually a certain time I went crazy, and I just told some other family members or friends that I knew, no names. I'm not gonna say names. I'm gonna make it into a positive, which is how I'm gonna leave it as a positive. That's why I'm not mentioning any names. So I basically told the anonymous person that first they said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But I was just in my, there were people walking around and stuff, and it felt like people were like standing right behind me or something like that. So I was in my uncomfortable zone. So I basically got up and went to a spot where there wasn't a lot of people and all of that. So I found my spot where I could be in isolation, where there are like maybe three or four people or five. That's fine. But if you're in a room with several people, that can be overwhelming, and that's what happened. And I was in sensory overload, and I was unsure exactly how to open up, socialize, and all of that. Because when that goes into action, it does take me a little bit longer to open up. Where I'll be shy and stuff on the sidelines, but it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to say. I will introduce myself, but the first thing I'll do is look around at everybody and just continue to walk around, that type of thing. And I'll do that whatever, several times or whatever. It's not just going to be once. It may be like 5 or 7 or 8 times I go around to figure out, okay, have I seen these people before? You know, and you're seeing kids and all this other stuff. So I continue to browse around to see exactly what was going on, and then I noticed that things were starting to get packed. So that's when I went into my uncomfortable zone right there. So uh, we're gonna just say this. I'm just watching this stupid thing. But it's just something on the news that I don't really care to listen to. Okay, so then now, um, okay. Now, I'm really sorry about that. I don't know. I was trying to look at something, but I don't have no interest in that. So, back to what I was just saying is that there was a family gathering of some sort today, and everything was good and dandy. But then, um, we actually had a 3 o'clock, 3 or 3:30 mass today, and that was like for an hour or so. And they were getting things set up for that, and things really started to get uh, a little too packed, and I felt uh, a cloud and a tornado hanging over me, saying, "Okay, uh, hold on here, feel the storm. A thunderstorm is coming." And what I mean by that is that it's rock and roll. It's time to get to your uh, uh, quiet zone. And I went to a spot where there weren't a lot of people. I don't mean to randomly say this, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to go to family gatherings like that for New Year's. Unfortunately, I've already experienced the problem. So while this family gathering was going on, I was going to participate. I wasn't about to say I'm not going to do it. I was in there, singing and all that other good stuff that normal people do. I love to sing and all that stuff, and what have you. So everything was all good. But at the same time, they're getting tables and chairs and all this other stuff. So I was exactly in my unsafe zone right there. So I actually went down the hallway, and I went over and just standed by the wall, not giving anybody eye contact, blocking everything all at the same time. And I had my cell phone, so when I get nervous and stuff, I'll think of something to do just to pass the time, just until I calm down. So that um so basically that's what I did right before the mass started. I was in my unsafe zone right there. So I just went back over where there were not a lot of people. I think there were like 6 or maybe 7 people. But then there were more and more people starting to, get ready for the mass and stuff. You, you know, so I wasn't exactly sure if I really wanted to deal with um, all of this craziness. I know holidays are exciting, but I mean, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to do this, but I didn't want to let anyone down. I didn't want to do the wrong thing and say I'm not going to do it. And I actually, it took me a while to warm up. I didn't really go in there. I was actually at the stage where I was not gonna go in there, because I automatically, if things get to me and it gets overwhelming or that type of thing, I automatically will isolate myself. And that's exactly what I did. And I went up to another person and said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute? Can I ask you a question?" And then I told them what I was uncomfortable about, and they said it's gonna be okay. And I said, "Is there a spot where I can go where there's not gonna be a lot of people? I don't want to be sitting around. I don't want to be sitting around a lot of people." Because with my autism, I don't do very well being around a lot of people or sitting around a bunch of people. I will go in a spot where there's less people, or I'll just go to my comfortable zone, find somebody that I do know, and just hang out and sit with them and socialize, and it's all good. But during the time when I noticed that there were more and more people coming into one room, I decided to isolate myself, go back into my own world, and do the same thing. Isolate myself, go in a spot where there is completely maybe one or two people, maybe three. So I found my quiet zone and it worked. Some people can handle being around a bunch of people. I can't handle that. If I'm at my own house, it's good. Yeah, it's quiet, it's peaceful. There's not anything that's gonna overwhelm me, anything like that. So it's all good. So basically, today it was exciting. I'm glad I went to this family gathering thing and went for New Year's and got to be with friends and family, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to go. I did explain to the family member, no names, but I did explain my situation to them, but I made it into a positive. I went because I didn't want to let anybody down. It worked out fine, but I just told them about my sensory issues opposed to the amount of people that were going to be at this event. And that's what I was concerned about because they just said that if it gets to be overwhelming for you or too much, you know, we we'll just bring you back home. You don't have to stay here at the family gathering. We'll just you just let us know and we'll take you home. So it was around, let me think. Things were calm and quiet, but then after dinner and stuff, things started to get a little bit more interesting. Some people left because they had other things to do, and then other people just hung around and, with family and stuff like that. I love socializing, but things really got to me at the last minute. So it was like around quarter to seven, 6:30. I isolated myself again, went in a spot. It was actually the basement. I went down there and there were like maybe a couple of people, I think three, there were like three or four or five adults and a couple of children. And I mean, the basement was pretty big. So there was a big extended area and there was a lot of room where I could isolate myself. I mean, the basement was huge, where I could just be in the basement alone by myself. Doesn't take long for me to walk and not, you know, be a part of the family gathering. And people say, well, it's kind of rude that you don't come out and socialize or get to know the person. But I've done that all my life. So if people don't understand where I come from, all you got to do is ask, and I'll explain it to you in a very positive, respectful way. I mean, we all have our differences. We all have our uncomfortable zone, our comfort zone, and all of that. So there is a comfort zone that's wall number one. Wall number two is uncomfortable zone, and then you have number three, your safe people. So basically, I was watching a commercial about some medical center, that type of thing. But I know my safe people. I just find my safe people, and I'll walk around until I find them, and I'll call their names. I'll literally walk down the halls, random times trying to find my safe people of the ones that I know, that I, faces that that I recognize. Now, the people that I do not know, it is hard for me to open up, but it was a gathering. It was a very nice family gathering for New Year's Day. I'm glad I was there. And also I'm glad that people were very open with me today, which surprised me. I was actually on the emotional side on some stuff. Not really gonna explain it, because it's kind of personal. So I don't really want to get into detail on that. It it's in regards to me, but I'm not really going to get into my personal uh personal issue on that. So we'll just bypass that and just say that everything went well, and I did what I had to do. Everything was a positive. Everything was a plus. So the day was good. The thing is, um, it's also a good thing to know and to tell the person what your comfort zone is and what your uncomfortable zone is, and make sure that you try and speak up and let them know, what's going on. And I'm really glad that everybody was on the same page with me and they were supportive in that matter. And uh, I'm just, very blessed that the that everybody uh listened to my concern, and most of them, a lot of them didn't even know that I had autism up until the time that I had told them that. So I was sitting there having a conversation with them and just explaining to them what was going on and stuff. And um I did tell maybe a few people that I had autism. Didn't really tell everybody that, but I was going to, like, if I had a conversation, I was going to explain to them, how I isolate myself and stuff like that. And I'd be like, I'm not doing it to be mean. It's just, uh, I have that sensory overload issue that I have to deal with, and other sensory issues as well. But I mean, I'll come back and talk to you. I just have to calm myself down, and sometimes I gotta walk it off or whatever I can to, to relax and stuff. I mean, things were quite jumpy today for me, but I toughed it out. I did okay, but after the mass was over, then once that I had eaten food, I was fine. So I think that I really can handle going to parties. I do okay with that, but I was very, very agitated, very excited, because there were people that I knew that I always see all the time. So I was glad that I was there, but all at the same time, there were other people that I didn't know. So there were two things that were going on. And I had to try and figure out exactly how do I make this all happen? What do I do? How do I handle this whole situation? Sometimes it's beyond your control, but just do everything in your best plan, and do whatever you have to make it very comfortable for everybody. You don't want to isolate yourself completely unless they don't completely understand your situation. Just open up and tell them what you're comfortable letting them know about. So, I mean, it's all good, no problem. So, kind of be careful with that. So I was just looking and they were saying that parts of Michigan are under a winter weather advisory. I guess I'm gonna have to pay attention to that because I have to go to my day program tomorrow. So I'm kind of concerned about that, but I'm not gonna let that stress me over. But it will be okay. Um, I'll play it by ear. I'm not crazy about winter weather. That's another sensory issue that I have is especially if it's winter weather and they talk about snow, ice, and all that other stuff. It just pumps up my anxiety. So um, I don't really think about it, but if people mention, oh, this is what's gonna happen, then I automatically will get overly excited and all that other stuff. So I just ask people, there are a lot of things that do make me anxious. So, and the other thing I can't do is going in automatic car washes. I have really I have severe anxiety, and I can't handle going into car washes, automatic car washes. I'm not really going to get into detail, but if you kind of think about it, you might understand where I'm coming from. For people that have autism, because I have autism, I know I had told you that because I have autism, so I try to open up and tell them about my sensory issues and going into automatic car washes. I do have sensory issues to that, so I try to alert uh, anybody and let them know what my sensory issues are. And being in crowded areas or crowded amounts of people, I do open up and tell them what my issues are, and going into car washes are one of them. Especially if they're automatic car washes, that's a problem. Now, if it's a manual car wash, that's different, where you're manually washing your own car. It's fine. But car washes completely, don't mention that to me because I literally go crazy. So if you can think of a different subject to talk about, because the first thing I'm going to say is that if someone says, oh, my car's dirty, uh, we're going to go to a car wash, first thing I'm going to say is, what kind of a car wash are we going to? They'll be like, we'll go to one on the way down to wherever we're going. And when people mention that, I get all nervous and stuff. And once that we get to the car wash, I get scared. I literally get scared. I do. And I don't want nothing to do with car washes. I don't like car washes at all. Car washes are not my thing. I will not, if I had a car, in the whole wide world, if I had a van, a truck, whatever, if someone like for an example, if I had a vehicle of my own, I would have somebody take it to the car wash for me. If it was a manual one, that's different. I wouldn't mind that. But if someone wanted to take it through the automatic car wash, they can do that. But I'm not, seriously, I'm not going to put myself in a position where it's going to make me feel very anxious, jumpy, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm in extreme sensory overload if I have to go through an automatic car wash. So, um, if that ever happens, you have to distract me, talk to me, and keep a conversation going, and I'll talk to you while that whole event is going on. So if someone continues to distract me and talk to me while that whole thing is going on, it's all good. I like it if people just talk to me when there's stuff that makes me uncomfortable, such as some of the things that I have told you about. Um, so what I do is if someone says, "Oh, we're going to the car wash," I would say, "Okay." And then once that, like if it was mentioned again or whatever, and if I ever see one, I automatically will block everything out and I will literally isolate myself and I'll cuddle up like a dog or a kitty cat because I'm in my unsafe zone. I'll get my jacket or a blanket, I'll put it on my head from the time that the event begins until the whole car wash thing is over with. Because literally, if I have to go through those automatic car washing things, my anxiety jumps off the wall. Because I have severe anxiety, for those that don't know. Because there are certain things that affect me hard in different ways. I do the best of my ability to work with the challenges. There are some things that I can handle, and other times people say, "Oh, you're okay. You can handle this. You've done it before. You've done it before. You can handle it." And I'm like, I can handle certain things, and I'm more than happy to tell you what those issues are. So I can pretty much tell you anything. You can ask me any question, and I'll tell you yes or no. Do I want to do that? Nobody can make me do something that I'm not comfortable with. And I wouldn't make you want to do anything that you're not uncomfortable with. So we have to make it, uh, we gotta make it into a positive, uh, a positive conversation. Means that let's work it out to where it's a safe zone. We have a conversation or think of something distracting while certain events are going on since that I've told you about my sensory issues. So, yeah. If you want to learn more about me, please feel free to leave comments in the section below, and then you can ask me anything you'd like to know about my sensory issues with my autism. Anything you can ask me. But if there is a certain thing that I'm not comfortable with, I'll let you know. I just say yes or no. Um, Means that I'll answer yes or no to whatever question it may be. I'll overlook the comments and stuff, and I'll have to think it through and figure out, do I want to respond to this? What do I tell the person? I would just make it into a positive and just tell them I'm not comfortable with that. I don't want to talk about it, but I'd make it into a short sentence so that way it 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 works on a more comfortable basis, meaning that let's make it reasonable. Um, let's do it in a really good, respectful way, because I respect everybody and I treat people the way they want to be treated. But if people have a problem, all they got to do is come up and talk to me, and I will be more than happy to talk to you. But if I'm unable to communicate with you, if it does get out of control, I'll have somebody end up speaking for me. But most of the time, I can handle it. If it does get a little too deep, that's when I go to another person and have them handle the situation. Because of my severe anxiety issues, I can handle so much. So, everyone, I am an awesome person. Just make it make it positive. It makes me feel proud. I like to make friends. I like being around friends, family. I like going out on outings and all that stuff. I like, you know, doing fun stuff like bowling, Special Olympics, and all that kind of stuff, movies, and all that. So you can ask me any kind of subject that you'd like to ask me, but on one note, if you're going to ask me certain topics, please make sure that the topics that you ask me, if you do ask me in the comments, I'll overlook all the comments before I respond. And I'm just saying to you in a respectful way, please make sure that your comments are appropriate. And I will not respond to comments that have bad language in them. I don't really accept comments that have bad language because I will immediately delete your comment. I will not respond. I will delete your comment if I see any bad language in there. That makes me uncomfortable. If you don't have anything nice to say to me or anybody else, then don't say anything at all. Because, like I said before, I treat people the way they want to be treated, and I treat everybody, I treat everybody with love, kindness, respect, and faith, and all that good stuff. So I'm a very positive person. You just have to ask me all these questions, and I'll do my very best to open up and try and go with the conversation. If I don't understand something, uh, I'll ask you. But if you can talk slow, I'll kind of get what you're saying in the conversation. But if people talk so fast, I don't understand what you're telling me. So I may ask you random, maybe repeatedly times, what are you talking about? Can you repeat it back? Or it's like talking to somebody on the phone and they're talking so fast. I will tell the people, like if I'm making an appointment or something like that, or transportation or whatever it may be, if I don't understand something, if they're talking too fast, yes, I'm gonna ask them, can you slow down and tell me slow? And they will. All you gotta do is be really respectful, and uh, your problem gets resolved with no problem whatsoever. So, um, yeah. So I'm really glad that today was a very successful day. I'm really happy that this is the first day of 2019, and today has been very exciting. I've had an awesome day today. I'm a very happy person today, and I am hoping for more exciting things to come for 2019. So I'll see everyone tomorrow with more live vlogs tomorrow on Eric's Autism World channel. Please comment, like, subscribe, share, and I will respond to your comments. But remember, I will be looking at all the comments before I respond to them. And like I said, if they have bad language in the comment section, if I see bad language in the comments, your comments will be deleted the moment I see if I see any bad language on the comment section. Your comments will be deleted and I will not respond back. So please make sure that you are extremely careful about what you say to me or any other person, because you want to be respectful to the person. You want to treat them the way you want to be treated as well. And I will also treat you with respect. So I want to work together on that, if you know what I mean. I'm a very respectful person and I show respect towards everybody. And I love to socialize and all that. I like to meet new people and stuff. It just takes me longer to open up, especially if it's something new and something that I'm not familiar with. So all you gotta do is like tell me what your name is, but the first thing that I will say to you, I'll come up to you and I'm always nice about it. I'll say, hi, what is your name? And then I wait for them to tell me what their name is, and they do. And then they'll ask me, what is your name? And I will introduce myself and tell them who I am. So I will be waiting patiently for comments to come in, and I'm hoping for awesome comments and all that good stuff. And I will be doing live. I will be doing live videos every day now. I will be doing live blogs every day. Before it was only a couple days, but it's going to be on a permanent basis every day. And I look forward to that. So I'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And thank you so much for making it exciting for uh, 2019. And thank you, everybody. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Bye. Please comment, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.